Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We apologize for the technical difficulties that we experienced. We will pick it up once again on page 187. Once again, page 187 for our Kedusha. Please remain standing, page 187.
netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushat chanatish, ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid god lecha, ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushat chanatish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu, mipinu lo yamush le'olam va'ed, ki el melech gadol, melech gadol, v'kadosh ata, ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid god elecha, ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushat chanatish, baruch atah Adonai. HaKadosh.
We continue praying the remainder of our Amidah privately, pages 188 through 192 in Hebrew, in English, or your own private meditations. Page 188 through 192. If you're still praying your Amidah, please continue at your own pace. We turn ahead or scroll down to page 203 as our service continues with Kaddish Shalem, page 203.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, mi'alma divra kirutei v'mlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'muchon v'chayechon b'et Yisrael, v'agla b'zman karim ve'yimeru, amen, yehi shmei Rabba mevarach, le'alam le'almei almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpar, v'yithruma mitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitale, v'yitalash melikutsha, בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה למינם ימה והימרו, אמן תתקבל צרודון ונכון כל ישראל, כל תם ובוני בשמי והימרו, אמן יש למה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו על כל ישראל והימרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, והימרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, ושלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Now we turn it over to Rabbi Wolpe. Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Wolpe.
Shabbat Shalom. You know the story about the rabbi who sees in the front row that a man is sleeping next to his wife during the sermon. And so he comes down from the pulpit and he goes over to the wife and he says, "Would you please wake your husband up?" And she says, "Rabbi, you put him to sleep, you wake him up." And the truth is, I don't know right now who I'm putting to sleep. Maybe you, by the way. I'm not so happy with how you look at the moment. But it also, that joke, is a sort of salutary reminder to rabbis that sermons are not always as powerful and effective as we might imagine to ourselves. It's like what Auden said about poetry in his obituary for the Irish poet Yeats. He said, "Poetry makes nothing happen." And sometimes you think sermons might make nothing happen. But the sermon that I'm about to give, although it might make nothing happen, could save lives. And that's why I'm giving it. Because if the right person hears it in the right way, it really could save lives. And this has to do with Pesach. Pesach, as you know, is our family holiday. Pesach is the time when we gather. Our memories of Pesach as we get older are memories, if we are lucky, of people gathered around the table, celebrating, singing, eating, drinking, eating, and drinking, and celebrating. That's what Pesach is. And the idea that we can't have a Pesach like that is very painful. It is even true that some people will be celebrating Pesach alone. And that's a very painful and difficult thing to imagine. And therefore, it is my understanding that there are some people in our community who are going to have a Pesach Seder with lots of people in spite of the fact that they've been instructed not to. It is to them primarily that I am speaking now. I understand, I really do, very deeply, why you want your family around during the Seder, why you want to invite people into your house, why you don't want the Seder to be an isolating experience or an electronic experience, because as you may know, a number of rabbis, including many Orthodox rabbis, both here and in Israel, have permitted Zoom for the Seder for this 1 year in what is called a Shat Hadchak, which means a time of emergency. And you don't want that, and I understand it. But I want you to know that anybody who invites people over to the Seder this year is violating Jewish law in the most serious way. And it's easy to say to oneself, we'll be fine. And you might be. But here are the crucial facts that we all have to keep in mind. And they are three. One is that people can transmit the virus who are not symptomatic. So you can have someone come over to your home who feels as well as I do now, and yet they're actually going to transmit the virus to someone else through speaking, through touching, through a sneeze, through a cough. Because we sometimes sneeze and cough when we feel okay too. That's the second important fact to know, is that the aerosolization, that is the ability to catch the virus from somebody who's speaking to you nearby, seems real. And even though there is still some scientific question about the degree and the length and the duration and all of that, it is pretty clear that you can catch the virus from somebody from talking to them. And here's the third fact. Older people especially are vulnerable. So if you have someone to your Seder who is young and fine, and someone else who is old, their grandparent or you, the consequences could be devastating. And if that happens, you will not be able to forgive yourself. And it is so much better to avoid the consequence than to regret it. In the story of Pesach, we read that in Egypt, there was no house in which there was not someone who had died. Now, it is true in our own case that the vast majority of people who get this virus will live, and most of them, in fact, will do well. That's at least the current scientific finding. But we don't know who won't do well. And it is not true that only older people are suffering. Some younger people have gotten sick and some younger people have died. When we talk about underlying conditions, after all, first of all, we don't know if only underlying conditions make you sick. And second, we don't know who has an underlying condition. A lot of them have never been diagnosed. This is not the year to be a hero. This is the year to be a little afraid. This is the year to allow your intelligence and your concern and your empathy to override your ego. This is the time. Again and again, we have seen that when people were too late to suggest quarantining, as happened in Florida, that the results were the rapid spread of the virus. It is pretty simple. You don't want to have people to your Pesach Seder. You don't want to open the door to anything except Elijah. I know that this will require for some of you a last-minute change of plans, and it will be difficult, and you might even feel embarrassed to say, you know what, we changed our mind. I really understand that. But it is much better to be embarrassed now than to be devastated later. So I'm asking you, please, pay attention to what the Orthodox Council of Rabbis in Bergen County said, which is that it is forbidden to invite people to your Seder who don't live in your home. That we are not allowed to take that chance with our own lives or with other people's lives, because you are imperiling other people who are there. This year, do it online. This year, if you need to, do it alone. It is better to be sad than to be sad and sick. It is better to be smart than to have made a decision that will haunt you the rest of your days. This is not a sermon any rabbi wants to give. But as I said at the beginning, sometimes sermons can make a difference. And if there is anything I can do to prevail upon you, not to have people in your home for this Pesach, then I plead with you, don't do it. Don't take that chance. Don't forget that Pesach is about the protection, ultimately, of the Jewish people. It's your turn to protect the people in your life, to preserve them, to help save them. For this Pesach, everybody stay home, so that next Pesach, we will all be here to celebrate together. Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, everyone. Yasher Koach to Rabbi Wolpe, and just a reminder that if you'd like to join us for our Sinai Temple's virtual Seder, you can join the Guzik Sherman family on Wednesday evening at 6:15 p.m. Wednesday evening at 6:15 p.m. Once again, youtube.com/Sinai Temple Presents. We very much look forward to spending our Seder with all of you. With that, I'll ask you to please rise for Aleinu. We're found on page 205. 205.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol latei gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu liloyeh haratzon velo samadu k'mishpachot adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem vegor aleinu kechol hamonam anachnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד
We recall with affection those who no longer walk this earth, grateful to God for the gift of their lives, for their sweet companionship, and for their cherished memories which endure. May God comfort all who mourn. The Shabbat, we recall the recent passing of Hagnazar Faranek, grandfather of Dr. Sarah Farzan, Dr. Tanaz Daniliafar, and Mrs. Neda Emrani, great-grandfather of Sophia and Asher Kamrava, Aiden, Charlotte, and Adam Daniliafar. We recall the passing of Alec Moss, grandfather of Sarah Klinger, great-grandfather of Maya and Solly Manor. We recall the passing of Howard Siegman, husband of Lilo Lang Siegman of blessed memory, brother of Joe Siegman. We recall the passing of Abraham Begin, husband of Anna Begin, father of Yaakov Begin of blessed memory, Josh Begin, Judy Begin, Rebecca Begin, Debbie Begin, and Dove Begin of blessed memory, grandfather of Sarah Begin Buchanan. We also recall the Yortzites will be observed during this coming week in the Sinai Temple community. Seymour Abyss, Nathan Adelson, Heshmat Asil, Eli Ati, Lula Mae Banks, Elliot Becker, Yaakov Begin, Paul Bearbaum, Esther Bergstein, Tedre Berkowitz, Louis Berman, Ita Blanc, Ben Bloom, Edith Blumenfeld, Herman Boren, Timur Boramond, Dina Bronstein, Mandel Brott, Patricia Ann Byrne, Ed Capeluto, Moshe Kleiman, Leah Croft, Stephanie Donna Schrader, Benjamin Danziger, Mozafar Dardashti, Arlette Darwish, Betty Singer Dick, Fanny Dishman, Faye Edelman Dome, Mario Driz, Joseph Dim, David Edry, Sion El Ganyan, Pauline Eliashar, Shimon Eli, Amir Elihu, David Eslamboli, Charles Felgenberg, Salome S. Field, Molly Feinerman, Max Fink, Leo Frankenstein, Nathan Franklin, Louis Fries, Helen Gepner Chernov, Donald Gershbach, Heshmat Gatan, Jerome Goldenberg, Jake Gordon, Paul Green, Ruth Green, William Groden, Harris Gruberman, Leo Gutentag, Rahula Halimi, Turan Shanasa Hekmat, Muriel Honig, Tamar Ilanit, Sigmund Isaacs, Sarah Jacobson, Larry Jacobson, Heshmak Kashani, Dina Katz, Khosrow Kazai, Maluk Koramian, Adele Kitchavin, Thomas Kival, Samuel Klein, Leon Noble, Ann Kopman, Norman Kotliski, Gladys Kreitenberg, Arthur Kritzer, Lynette Kurtzman, Edward Lane, Yetta Letterman, Uzi Legerman, Florence Leonard, Marvin Stanley Lessner, Rachel Levitt, Seymour Litch, Richard Lininger, Daniel Lohm, Reba Malamed, Herzl Malamed, Henny Midgen, Ida Milner, Jacob Maharuni, Dorothy Nathanson, Raheem Nazarian, Ruth Netcher, Sylvia Novak, Marjorie Oswald, Sophia Platt, Toria Purat, Sarah Nazarian, George Prudowski, Manny Resnick, Don Rickles, Sam Rosen, Ida Russ, Davud Sadiq, Eli Sassouni, Marissa Schartz, George Schneider, Susan Schur, Stuart Snyder, Aziz Shadgu, Louis Shapiro, Sarah Shore, Mansour Sufer, Nabi Taheri, Gussie Warshaw, Max Weintraub, Paula Wolfson, Rachel Yagob Zadagan. We ask those in mourning or observing a yahrzeit to please rise on page 207 to sanctify God's holy name in the words of the mourner's Kaddish, page 207. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'alma divarach yir'ute v'yamlich malchute, V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala ubizman kariv imaru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam olomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpawar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela minkol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Da'amiram b'yalma v'imaru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imaru, Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Uya asei shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imaru, Amen. May God who brings peace unto heavens bring peace unto all those who mourn. And let us all say, Amen. In just a few moments, we're going to have our concluding prayers. First, we have some wonderful announcements and acknowledgements, and then Cantor Feldman shortly will lead us in Adon Olam, and then we will do the blessings here in the chapel before you can enjoy your scrumptious lunch at home.
Okay.
You're first.
Okay, great. So hi, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. For those that don't know us, Rabbi Guzik and Rabbi Sherman, we're so happy to be with you this morning. Some great announcements. First of all, happy birthday to Alan Kamraba, who's one of our board members. Happy birthday, Alan. And we found out about 2 births in our community. We would like to announce the birth of Dylan Malay Carney to Allison and Michael Carney, granddaughter to Jason and Lori Kahan, Mazel Tov. We'd also like to announce the birth of Evan Lewis Sherman, son of Aaron and Daniel Sherman, and grandson to Ron and Ronna Spiegel.
Mazel tov.
We just wish all of you a mazel tov, and it's wonderful to hear of the sparks of light within the darkness. And we wanted to sing for all of you a Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegeyanu lazman hazeh.
Praised are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who gives us life, who sustains us, and brings us to these incredible moments of life. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. We just want to bring you greetings and regards from our president, Jamie Berman, and the entire board of directors, who wish you a Shabbat Shalom. We bring you greetings from the entire clergy, from everyone here at Sinai Temple, from Howard Lesnar, our executive director. We all wish you were here. We miss you and we love you, and we look forward to the moments in which we get a chance to see you in person.
Our Seder this Thursday, Rabbi Guzik, louder, please. Sorry, Wednesday night, 6:15 p.m. as Rabbi Wolpe mentioned, on Zoom. That will be the Sinai Temple Seder Zoom from our home. It'll just be our immediate family, Rabbi Guzik, myself, and our 3 children. But hopefully many of you will join us. The Zoom link, I believe, already went out. And also services on the first day of Passover, 9:30 a.m. right here on these stations on youtube.com/Sinai Temple Presents. There will be the special blessing of Tal for dew, Rabbi Wolpe's message, his sermon, also on this platform of Zoom and YouTube.
Just realizing a lot of you have been asking about using various Haggadot and which Haggadah you want to use at your Seder. If you look at our website, we list a few different Haggadot, but the Haggadah that we are going to be using is a different night, correct?
Yes.
A different night. You can find the PDF, exactly the pages, how we will use them on our website. We've also given you a song supplement that we use at our family Seders. So I hope that you will follow along there too. And additionally, we put on a fun supplemental Haggadah for children. We won't be going through that, but that's also a fun activity for those who have kids at their Seder. If you want to engage them, feel free to go through that resource as well. With that,
we're gonna turn back to Kenner Feldman for a beautiful Adon Olam.
Shabbat Shalom,
And
everyone.
then we'll come back for our blessings.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We turn ahead in our Sederim to page 211 for Adon Olam. And this week we will do it to a familiar tune, to Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
Sheni
Beautiful.
Koach to you guys as well. Shabbat shalom.
Stay on.
I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. Everyone, please rise for Kiddush. Al ken barach Adonai et yom haShabbat v'yikadshehu savri.
Ryan.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Cantor, can you tell me how to do this? You always teach the B'nai Mitzvah well.
Yeah, right over left, left over right, back, and speak loud.
Perfect, I know. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz.
Amen.
Amen.
We learned from last time.
Ribbano Olam, Master of the Universe, remind us how to cultivate Ometz Lev, a strengthening of heart. In these times of darkness and these times of fear, let us remember, Adonai Oz Le'amo Yiten. Dear God, you give us strength, grant us peace, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat shalom, Cantor.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.